So if asked to give a fun fact about myself, the one that I would be most likely to give is that I have read every single one of Agatha Christie's novels. I don't know why I did that. I just did. But on the bright side of being someone who, for no reason at all, decided to read all of Agatha Christie's works and had a good time doing it, let's be clear, I can now do fun things like rank those novels on the internet, which is what I am here to do for you today. If you're watching this, I assume you've read a fair number of Agatha Christie novels, but let's say that you haven't. Maybe you're just looking for an entry point. I will try and give you that. If you just want to see someone rank them, I will also give you that. So let's get started. The Mysterious Affair at Styles. I guess I should set some criteria first. The way we're gonna do criteria on this is if I liked it, it's automatically a B. If I can remember who did it, it goes up 1. If I really liked it, it goes up 1. If I remember the plot, it goes up 1. If I figured out who done it, it goes down 1. I don't make the rules. That's just the rules of mystery novels. If you can't trick me, then you failed, because I'm very easy to trick in mystery novels. I never get it right. So this one, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, her first attempt. It was great. I loved it. I was hooked immediately. Also, I did definitely figure out who done it. Was I briefly fooled? Yes. Was the disguise on this one a little silly? Also, yes. So it's a great starting point. So I think it gets a point because it's her first. Let's start there. It gets a point because it's her first. Let's actually record this. So if we're starting out with it's a B, it gets a point A because it's her first, but also it gets subtracted a point because I got it right. But it gets added a point because I still remember who did it. And I haven't read these books in a little bit, so that's really saying something. So The Mysterious Affair at Styles, it gets an A from me. Murder on the Links. I've never seen this book before in my life. I have no idea what happened. Is Hastings in this one? I'm sure he is. Bound and gagged in her bedroom, identifies a pair of masked intruders, likely as culture. I bet the wife did it. I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember who did it. I don't remember anything about this book, so it probably wasn't that memorable, other than I'm sure, Hastings is in it. Hastings is in it, so that's minus a point too. So let's go with Murder on the Links. Decided to be weird. Okay, Murder on the Links is a C. I can't be too harsh on it because I don't actually remember it. Peril investigates. These are short stories, therefore they're not good. Don't read them. Not worth it. Don't buy them. You can read them if it's at the library, but if it's not at the library, you should not bother, because I think Miss Marple is better in short story form. It's gonna be my hypothesis. I have never liked Poirot's short novels. So we're just gonna throw this one in as Poirot investigates. It's a D, because it's short stories. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. If you were going to be starting into Agatha Christie world, I would suggest either The Mysterious Affair at Styles or The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. And I'm just gonna say spoiler alert real quick, because I don't want to spoil this for you if you have not read it, because you need to read it. Spoiler alert, cover your ears, la la la. I thought for sure that the good doctor was about to become the new Hastings, because I was like, Hastings is horrible. I'm sure Agatha knows this, and I'm not gonna have to keep dealing with Hastings. The doctor's gonna be Hastings now. The doctor was not Hastings now. Man, was I wrong. So because I really loved it, that automatically makes this, where are you? The Murderer. It automatically makes it an A, because I did not get the murderer right. It's an S. I remember who did it too. S. Solid S tier. Agatha Christie novel. Solid S tier. Yes, you should read this one. It's great. This is awful. This is an attempt into spy fiction, which she did do pretty well actually in some of her other novels, but she did not do it well with Perot, because Perot is just a silly little guy, and he does not need to be doing this level of caper. He's here in your country house, at your golf course, in the Mews. He's there to solve murder. He's not here to fight the forces of evil on a global scale. So, F. There's an F. I made an F tier. F tier. No one should read this. It's the only Perot novel I genuinely dislike. The Mystery of the Blue Train. I'm gonna have to be honest. I don't remember who did it. I didn't get it right. So those cancel each other out. I like this book. There's this one part where he like has a spiritual experience and that helps him solve the case, which whenever Agatha Christie is clearly writing in an Agatha Christie point of view, whenever she's writing in something that's clearly from Agatha and not Poirot, it has one of those moments. And he's just a silly guy, but he's not interested in spiritual moments, I don't think. That said, I had just come off of The Big Four. And I was so relieved for this to be it. It was so much better than The Big Four. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier because it's not her best work, but after The Big Four, it sure felt like her best work. Was I fooled? Yes. Do I remember who did it? Yes. Is this really good? Yes. S tier. This is one of the ones I would really recommend that you read if you're just like going through and trying to read the hits. This is one of them. Is Hastings in this one? He must be. There's no way that she let me not have Hastings. That should be another point bonus. Is Hastings not in it? S tier. No Hastings. Just kidding. Hastings is in this. It's still S tier though. Lord Edgware dies. Do I remember who did it? Yes. Did I get it right? I don't remember. I think I did. I got this one right. Yeah. I remember more vaguely this one, so it didn't really stick with me. It was good. To be honest, I think I was reading just to get to Murder on the Orient Express next. So I think I read this one a little faster than I should have. But so let's give it B tier. I think it's kind of in the same realm as The Blue Train. Murder on the Orient Express. This one makes me sad because it doesn't match all the other ones, but I already owned it, so I couldn't justify buying it again. Oh, Murder on the Orient Express. It is very good. Did I get it right? No. Yes? No. Yes. Did I get it right? No. Was it so good? Yes. Do I remember who did it? Yes. Is this an S tier Agatha Christie novel? Of course it is. And I think so far my general, I think this is lining up pretty well with what I would say you should read if you're just going for the hits. It's Styles, Roger Ackroyd, Peril, House, Murder on the Orient Express. Indeed. Next, the 3-act tragedy. Do I remember who done it? I don't know if I do. I do remember the plot of this one pretty well. I don't remember who done it, I don't think, but I remember really liking it and coming off of the Murder on the Orient Express, it felt like a really good change of pace. It was enjoyable. I think this one's probably A tier. I don't remember who did it, and I did not get it right. I'm 90% sure. So we'll put it at A. And I remember liking it a lot. This one is about an actor, and like there's a sort of play thing that's happening at his party, and things go awry as they do. Pro's there, because he's always there, right at the right moment. I'm going to ruffle some feathers on this one. I am 100% sure it's Death in the Clouds. Do I like Death in the Clouds? I do. Does it have one of the biggest Agatha Christie snafus of all time as far as the murder weapon? It most certainly does. Did I catch that at the time? I didn't. I was just having a good old time reading Death in the Clouds. Death in the Clouds is good. It is not that good. Do I remember who did it? No. Did I get it right at the time? No. They null each other out. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a B tier one. This is for the diehards. If you like Agatha Christie novels, you should read Death in the Clouds. It's A.B.C. Murders, y'all. This one is a absolutely renowned Agatha Christie novel. Do I remember who did it? I don't, because I read it once and I haven't read it since. I should read it again. It's a serial killer one. The device in this one's really good with the ABC handbook of the train stations. It is, I think I do kind of remember who did it. I think this is an A tier one. It is an absolute banger, Murder in Mesopotamia. I do remember who did it. I did not get it right. This one is another one that I think is kind of for the diehards. I loved it. I mean, it's Murder in Mesopotamia. Of course I loved it. It's in Mesopotamia. Anything in Egypt or Mesopotamia is gonna get like an extra secret point in my heart. Do I think it was one of her better ones? Probably not. Do I think the cover art on this one is beautiful? I do. Agatha Christie had nothing to do with that though. That's all, who is it, Harper? Who published this, HarperCollins? Yeah, HarperCollins. This is a HarperCollins work, and let me tell you, it's a good one. So let's give it a B. I do like it though, and it's an A in my heart. Might I recommend that you know how to play bridge before you read this one? Which is not a criticism of the book, because I now do know how to play bridge because I made my grandmother teach me after reading this book so I could reread it. It makes a lot more sense if you know how to play bridge. Also, it's a great way to spend an afternoon with your grandmother, and then she invites you to go play with her friends, and then you're just sitting around with 3 other ladies and having a good time. So we were a real Agatha Christie novel on ourselves. Cards on the table and play bridge with your grandmother. It's a B. And next, Murder on the Mews. Do you know, I don't know if I knew what the Mews were before reading this novel. I had to Google that. This is one of those like left hand, right hand, how did the gun end up in the wrong hand situation, and there are golf clubs involved, I think. Am I even remembering that correct? I don't think that I really remember this one very well. So I think that genericness is probably making it a C for me. I didn't get it right. I don't remember who did it. I liked it. I liked the device. It's a B. It's a B. Dumb witness. The dog in this one is so sweet. And like any animal ones, I'm on the team. If it's children, which we'll get to with some of the later ones, if they're like heavy children characters, I'm a little less interested in that. I don't really want the children to be involved in a murder mystery, I guess. But the dog can be. Dog knew what was up. Okay, Death on the Nile. This is the one you've seen the movie of, probably. I really liked Death on the Nile. I really enjoyed it. I remember who did it. I got it right at the time. And yeah, I think that makes it an A tier because it's one that you should read if you're out here reading Agatha Christie novels, which, you know, here we are I've got 7 basically that you really should read. Death in the Nile is included in that. Do I think it's as good as all of the other A tier ones right now? Yes, I rank it above the A.B.C. murders. Yes, it's an A tier one. We're just gonna go with its A tier. Appointment with Death. This one's got like the fat mom, doesn't it? It does. Do I remember who did it? I actually don't. Do I love this one? I do. I remember loving it. This was wild. You could not publish this book today. Appointment with Death is B. It's going into my, if you're a team player in the cult of Agatha Christie, you should read this one because it's a fun time. It takes place in Petra also, which is a Middle Eastern one. This was when Agatha Christie was married to an Egyptologist. So her books took on a different flavor with a little bit more travel. Hercule Poirot's Christmas. I don't remember this at all. I'm gonna have to reread some of these. I don't remember this one, it's a C. I don't remember who did it. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember reading it. I liked this one. I got it right at the time. This is a B because this isn't like a renowned Agatha Christie one by any means. This is just like, if you enjoy Agatha Christie novels, you'll enjoy this one. It's not groundbreaking. This is about the dead dentist and overdose with death. This is a C. This one's fine. It's kind of like Murder on the Mews or Hercule Poirot's Christmas. It's kind of generic, but I don't think it's like a cult one that you should read because it's fun. This is just kind of like a generic one. Yeah, I remember this one. I did not get it right. I remember who did it. Evil Under the Sun is an A tier one. 5 Little Pigs. This one I remember very vividly. I remember who did it. I loved the ending. I loved the device. This is an A for me. For most people, this is probably a B. I really liked it though. And it's like got the people writing in the letters, and it's got such a good device, and it's Poirot digging through the past. I kind of like those kinds of mysteries, like those old detective novels too, where they're having to dig through the past. This one is more like that, where there's really no way to prove, there's no way to convict, but it's just for the sake of finding out the truth. Okay, next, The Hollow. I don't remember this one very well. It's a C, I think. I remember it kind of. Oh, I do. Okay, yes, I do remember this one. It's a C. This one's fine. The Labors of Hercules, actually, I think is what this one specifically is. It's not Hercule Poirot. It's short stories, so it's going straight down to D. Don't suffer with this. Don't read this. You don't have to read this. I read it. I don't know why I did. You don't need to, so don't read it. Taken at the Flood. I do remember who did it. I did like it. This is a good one. Is it an A? I don't think it's everyone's A. I think it's like my A. Guided only by the spirit world. That's some real Agatha silliness. It's a B. If you like Agatha, you should read it. It's got like the children squabbling over fortune because the second wife got the money. This is one I dropped in a bath, and it's got a different style cover. A horrible thing to own, short stories. But as far as short stories go, actually, I would say these are better short stories than what I've been putting up with. So I'm gonna say this is C. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I liked these short stories better than the other ones. Mrs. McGinty's Dead. I also really like this one. I do remember who did it. I didn't get it at the time. It's a B for me. This is one where it's a little bit messier, and it's with poorer people, which usually, you know, there's kind of the stereotype Agatha Christie novels take place in country houses. This one does not take place in a country house. This one felt a little gorier and messier, so I liked it. What a thing to say about myself. After the Funeral. This is also kind of gory. It's got a hatchet murder. I don't distinctly remember this one. I think this is probably a C tier one where it's not gonna offend anybody. You're good to read it. This is the boarding house one, isn't it? Student hostel, mature sister works, yeah. I did not get it right, and I don't remember who did it currently. I do remember the plot pretty well, and I liked it. I think this is a B. As we get later into Agatha Christie novels, you will find that it's easier to kind of find her out. So the same thing kind of goes for Dead Man's Folly here, which was my favorite pun, by the way, Dead Man's Folly. Folly, foolish, folly building. Anyways, Dead Man's Folly, I did like this one. I do remember the plot. I do remember what happened. So it's a B. It's not gonna blow your socks off though. I think the pattern that I'm seeing here is that if I liked it generically, then I probably liked it B tier. So maybe this is not a helpful tier ranking list for you after all. Cat Among Pigeons is one where I do remember who did it. I do remember the plot. I remember liking it. This is gonna be, no one likes this one. I liked this one. It's a B though. I know not to give that an A. There would be protests. The Clocks. I have no memory of this novel. C. Third Girl. I have lots of memories of this novel. And this one has my favorite thing that I've carried over into my real life of Third Girl. It's like when you're the friend who fills in because they need a third. You're the third girl, and they just are basically like, hey, we need a third for our house. Is it you? It's me. So Third Girl is one I really think is good. It is not A tier, it is B tier. So much of B tier is just, if you like Agatha Christie, you should read it. Halloween Party. Man, is this one a letdown after that movie with Kenneth Brosnan. This is not at all what it was like, the Halloween Party. I don't know if anyone else would anyone call this an A but me? Maybe I need to put a few other ones in A. Maybe I'll be controversial and I'll move Appointment with Death up into A. Maybe I put Appointment with Death up there, and then I feel fine putting this also up there, because they're the same tier, Appointment with Death and Halloween Party. Okay, Elephants Can Remember. I got the plot right. This was not hard to figure out. It's pretty weak. So it's a C. And then finally, Curtain, Perot's final case. Is it good? Nah. Is it the last one? Yeah. Should you read it? Yeah. I feel it should go in A just so I can complete my argument here that if it's an S tier or A tier, it's something you should read. You shouldn't read Curtain until you're done reading Perot, obviously, because it's the last one. But it's something that takes us back to Styles. Hastings is there, which is -1 because Hastings is there. So I didn't even speak about Ariadne, did I? Ariadne Oliver does not add or subtract anything and is fine. This is a B, and I am putting in A because it is the last one. And that's my definitive ranking of Perot books without spoilers, to the best of my ability. Sorry if you wanted more in depth, but I also did not want to give spoilers. And it's hard to go in depth on mystery novels without a lot of spoilers. Should you read Agatha Christie? You sure should. So next time you're thinking, what should I read? I guess my recommendation to you is Styles, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, Peril House, 3-Act Tragedy, Murder on the Orient Express, the A.B.C. Murders, Death on the Nile, Appointment with Death, Evil Under the Sun, 5 Little Pigs, Halloween Party, and Curtain if you're done reading all of the Perots. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you next time.